Taurus, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Happy birthday to all of my Taurus out there. All right, clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Taurus, please. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, your energy. Your person showing up as the Hierophant. All right, Taurus energy. They're viewing you as the Knight of Cups in reverse. What you're not seeing is the Ten of Cups in reverse. And we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, okay? And we have the King of Cups. So some of you could have Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in your chart. Maybe you're dealing with a water sign, or you're just embodying this energy. So I feel like with the Nine of Swords in reverse, my Taurus, you've really been going through it here. This is coming out of a dark night of the soul, coming out of a period of anxiety and depression. But I feel like with the King of Cups here, you're actually quite stable, you're quite grounded, you're emotionally balanced, you're connected with source energy. I feel like those of you who do energy work, your heart chakra is balanced or balancing. And I feel like you're putting something in the past. All right. But at the same time, simultaneously, it feels like you're drawing someone or something towards you. All right. But I do think that you're still kind of, feeling whatever this Nine of Swords was for you. Some sort of anxiety or depression or some sort of karmic situation. Something that, just obviously didn't feel right, didn't feel good. All right. So we have the Three of Pentacles. But I feel like my Taurus, you're in this beautiful energy of everything's working out for me. So even if something here didn't work out, it's like I feel like you're surrounding yourself with friends and family. You're realizing that a lot of times when, something leaves your life, it opens the door for something new. All right. Now you're viewing this person as the Seven of Cups. So this person, and you may feel like you and this person are really compatible. Now, the Seven of Cups can be a little bit of a confusing energy, so you could have somebody here that's really piqued your interest. Somebody here maybe you've met online, because sometimes the Seven of Cups is my online card. But the Seven of Cups is also an indication that there may be like a lot of people around this person. So it may be somebody you work with that Three of Pentacles, or it may be somebody that you know through friends, or you see always out and about in the community. And, it may be sometimes hard for you two to get to be alone, right? Like there might always be eyes on you, or there just might always be other people around you. So I do think you spend a lot of time wondering about this person, wishing you knew more about them. All right. And we see the Death card energy in reverse, how you're viewing the connection, Scorpio energy. Now, obviously, this could be somebody that you haven't fully let go of, that you've had an ending or a breakup with. But truthfully, I'm reading this as you letting go. You're in the process of healing and letting go of something, right? And just remember, Taurus, we don't always have to be fully healed before we enter into a new relationship. I mean, it's ideal, right? But the right person, the right connection will hold space for you as you heal, right? And so I'm not saying and suggesting, jump from one relationship to another, or, if you feel like you need more time to work on yourself, ignore that. But what I'm saying is that it feels like you're looking at this relationship as someone or something that's really interesting, that's really piqued your interest, that's compatible. They have you thinking about them. You may even be trying to manifest them or want to get closer to them. But you also know with the relationship, you don't want to rush into anything, that you're still in the process of releasing someone or something else. Your person's energy, the Ten of Cups. So some of you, for some of you, what I'm getting is that there's real potential here, Taurus, for this to be a connection that makes you happy, that makes you both happy. I feel like this person is somebody who's looking for commitment in marriage. They're looking for stability. All right. And they're showing up as the Hierophant card, which is confirmation there of that Ten of Cups. Also have strong compatibility with you, whether they have Taurus in their chart or not. All right. So let's see what else we need to know. All right, we see destined for greatness, so that could be really this connection, but we also see that it is your destiny to be great. It's coded in your DNA. It's time to meet your greater self. Beautiful. I think that's the process you're in. And with the Three of Pentacles, it's like you're on the right path here. We see important mission. So your soul has an important mission to fulfill in this lifetime. Search within and you'll discover your mission. Beautiful. All right. And trust the journey. So when you experience stagnation in your life, know that it's the next level calling you. Answer the call and let go of the old. And again, I think you're really well aware that that's where you are here. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck here, we see allow your higher good. So we see don't be upset because things didn't work out the way your ego planned. Have faith that what is in your highest good will come. Yeah, so again, like closed doors are blessings here, Taurus. And I feel like you're calling in somebody who's really compatible with you, the Hierophant card. All right, so let's see what else we need to know about them. All right, this is somebody grounded, generous. I feel like they're spiritual, they're loving. I feel they have a lot to offer, stability. We see the Strength card in reverse, Leo energy. They might not be feeling super confident about this connection, or they might feel like you're a little bit out of their league. Now, the Strength card in reverse can also be one of my fake it till you make it cards. So again, this person might act quite confident, but deep down they're not, right? They're not as confident as they come off. Page of Pentacles, they might be a little bit of the nervous type, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. They may be overthinking things here. You know, that's why they haven't taken any steps towards you or they haven't reached out. And again, most likely because your energy, like I'm not saying your energy is off, but you are probably holding back a little bit and they're reading that. Look at that. But they do feel like there's some sort of spiritual connection here between the two of you. And with double Hierophant card coming out in their energy, Taurus, I mean, it feels like there's a really good chance that they're either a fellow Taurus here or we see that they have you on their mind and in their heart. Now, we do have the Queen of Swords in reverse, somebody whose throat chakra might be blocked, somebody who might not be fully trusting you or this connection yet, because I also see behind the scenes the Ten of Cups in reverse. Like this is also somebody who's maybe recently out of a connection or somebody who's been dating but hasn't really found anybody really compatible. They might be used to disappointment. And they're not sure about you with the Knight of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy showing up in reverse. Again, you might be exploring other options. Maybe they've heard something along those lines, or just your energy because you have been holding back and healing. It's like you're not chasing them. You're not, and you might act a little bit disinterested at times, whether that's the case or not. But they see you somewhere you like to go back to, the Eight of Pentacles. So this to me is an indication: work, school, the gym, out with friends, wherever it might be. And the Five of Cups, they may know that you have been hurt, that you've been going through this Nine of Swords energy. They may know about your past relationship, especially if they've been gathering intel on you, Taurus, or or they feel like your focus is elsewhere. They might see that at times you might seem a bit sad or melancholy. Okay, and we see the Four of Swords energy in reverse. So this person may sometimes pick up on a little bit of nervous energy around you is what I'm getting, like a restlessness here. And again, maybe this person makes you feel nervous, nothing wrong with that. But I also feel like this person is worried that you do either have a third party around you or you're exploring other options. Like they're not fully trusting that like you're really into them just yet, Taurus. All right, with the Ten of Cups showing up in reverse, I feel like this is somebody who's also experienced some sort of painful loss or ending. The Two of Swords, but what's interesting is they're seeing like energy blocks are being removed here for them. Like they want to communicate. They've been holding back, but it's like they want to communicate. They want to get answers here. We see the Emperor energy in reverse. Some of you, this person is letting go of an Aries, or they're letting go of, I don't know, I'm wondering if they have like a really jealous ex or they have an abusive relationship. Kind of feels like you both have been healing from like tough situations. And we see the Five of Pentacles. So their energy is also a little bit scattered, especially when it comes to relationships. The Emperor in reverse can also be just somebody here who's lacking confidence that they have what it takes to give you, you know, what you really need, Taurus. Okay, so I'm just like picking up on a little bit of insecurities from this person, which, you know, I don't think they come off that way. But, you know, you've got them in their feels, you know, you're giving them butterflies and they're kind of assuming the worst, or maybe they've heard or seen something that made them feel like maybe you weren't that into them. So the Nine of Wands in reverse tells me that this is your energy, or this is the final outcome, to let down your walls and your barriers. There may be a lot of communication between the two of you coming in. You both might be talking about the karma that you've been healing and releasing, because I feel like you both have been through something that you can both really empathize with, Capricorn energy. I do think that this is also this person's throat chakra opening up, speaking up, wanting to talk to you. And the Three of Cups is a celebration card and a dating card. So this person very well may be asking you out on a date, or, you know, whatever the next step might be for you two. And we see them Three of Swords in reverse. Also somebody who's been, I think, on the same path as you in a lot of ways, holding back and healing. So you're going to really get each other, you know, once things are out in the open. All right, so let's see what we need to know about this person. All right, what do we need to know about this person? Okay, so we see Monk or Nun. So I like this energy. This is somebody who, you know, this is somebody who I do think is single, even if they've been dating or whatever. I feel like they're quite in alignment. I don't think that they have other options around them. All right, and they have a spiritual practice is what I'm getting. They've been spying on you. They've been checking you out. They've been paying attention to details about you, gathering intel. All right, I always get Scorpio energy from that archetype. All right, let's see how they're viewing you. How else are they viewing you? A little bit worried that you're, you know, not interested, or you have other options. And we see the Artist. Okay, so they see you that, you know, that this is the shadow archetype. So they might be worried that you're not that creative, or they might see you as very creative and maybe they're not in a lot, you know, they're not. But this says using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, or posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. I don't think that's the case at all. I just kind of feel like this person is a little bit worried that you haven't moved on from, you know, from the past is what I was getting. But I'm also seeing too, whether you're really creative or not, this person might just feel like you're really good looking, or you're really sought after. And they might just kind of assume like that you're not that nice because of that, or you're not that, you know, like compassionate and loving. You know how sometimes people who are really, you know, who are used to getting what they want, who are really good looking, they can have a little bit of an ego on them. And I feel like they're worried about that. But I think there's a big part of them that knows that that's not how you are. So more, I'm just getting a little bit of anxiety here, Taurus, about you being a little bit out of their league, or not giving them the time of day. And it does look like there's some gossip around you. So I don't think they don't think you're trustworthy, although they might not be fully trusting this connection yet. But I feel like they've heard some gossip here, which, you know, I don't think is actually true. Or they've heard some gossip that's maybe made them form an opinion about you that they definitely need to clear up. But they've been trying to clear that up. They've been doing the, you know, doing the detective work. So we see running into, so maybe this person ran into you and somebody else, and they weren't sure if it was a date, it was your partner, it was somebody you're seeing. All right, we see moving on. Also, this person might be moving on from some sort of heartache and betrayal. All right, and we see chosen, but they still have you on their mind and in their heart, Taurus, okay? They have you on their mind and in their heart. So let's see what else we need to know about this person. What else do we need to know about this person? All right, so we have manipulator. Okay, we see confident and we see accomplished. Now, obviously we need to pay attention to the manipulator energy, but truthfully what I'm getting is I feel like this is somebody whose actions don't line up necessarily with their words. And yes, obviously big red flag. But at the same time, I feel like this is somebody who comes off really confident and they're not, okay? Because it's like they've been hurt and maybe they've heard gossip about you that wasn't true that makes them feel like, okay, you're going to reject them or you're a player or something like that. Maybe they saw you as somebody else. But manipulator energy is also somebody that wants to manipulate energy and does want to get closer to you. All right, we see that you and this person may have cultural differences here, Taurus. All right, so let's see what your advice is here with this connection. What is your advice here with this connection at this time? But you know, I do see them, like, I see you two moving down this trajectory of actually getting to know each other, and this person releasing karma, stop listening to gossip or what have you, or just kind of putting that to the side to get the answers for themselves. And I do see a happy ending here with that Three of Cups. All right, so Spirit's advice for you is you don't need proof. Trust doesn't require constant confirmation. And I also feel like this is also your person's energy. Like, I mean, I think they want to get to know you, but I also think that they're like willing to put gossip aside and see for themselves. All right, we see let go gently. Detachment doesn't require bitterness. So I kind of feel like some of my Taurus here, you're letting go of someone or something else here. All right, you're in a quite high vibrational, so I don't feel like you're bitter. And Spirit saying ground into the present, bring your focus back to what's real and what's happening now. All right, and just stay in self-respect. Act in ways you won't need to justify to yourself later. All right, Taurus, sending you love and light. Take care.